Hey everybody! So today's going to be a tutorial on a halo smoky eye, and we're going to be taking the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette, and we're going to be taking the second shade on the left side. It's a brown pinkish shade, and we're going to use that as our transition color. With our e.l.f. blending brush, we're just going to blend it in our crease to look very blown out and very seamless in the crease. So right here, I'm just placing it on my outer corner and my inner corner so we can start the halo effect. But I'm going to be taking this smaller, more defined brush so that I can really pack the color on the outer corners and the inner corners. I find it easier when you use a smaller brush. You can definitely pack on more color, because that's how you create the halo eye, and we're going to be leaving the center blank. So I'm just going to continue to blend that out, and then I'm going to be taking another Wet n Wild blending brush. This brush is amazing for blending any colors out so that they don't look harsh, and I'm just going to keep continuing to go back into that color and adding it on the inner and outer corner. And then right there, I took my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I took the brown shade. I will have all the details listed below, but I took the brown shade and I'm adding it on top of those areas on the inner corner and outer corner, and I'm just going to continue to blend that out so it looks very blown out and smoky. I love smoky eyes. I think they look very sultry. So I'm just going to go back from the e.l.f. blending brush and the Wet n Wild and continue to blend, blend, blend. Okay, and here we're going to be taking the Maybelline Color Tattoo Eye Chrome in the shade Beige Luster, and we're going to be putting that in the center of our eye, the part that we left blank, and we're just going to pop that in there as a pigment, and it is pretty wet at first, so that's why I'm taking this smaller, little more defined brush, and I'm going to round out and blend the edges. And then after, I'm going to take the top shade on the right from the Comfort Zone palette with that small brush and just add it on top of the Beige Luster just to make sure it really pops. And then after this, I'm just going to keep blending out the edges and making sure everything looks more seamless and blended together. But I still want it to look like there is that pop of silver in the middle, but just I don't want any harsh edges, so we're just going to blend that out. And then I'm just going to go ahead and repeat the same step to the other side. Okay, and here I'm taking this e.l.f. Little flat contour brush, and I'm actually going to be using that to place the highlight shade at the top of the Comfort Zone palette on my brow bone. I love this brush so much to apply the right amount of product. I'm just going to highlight the tops of my brow bone just to make sure it gives it a nice highlighted effect, and I think it really ties the whole look together. Oh, sorry, I was having a little issue focusing here. But yeah, we're just going to put that right underneath our eyebrow, and then I'm going to apply some Luminous Beeline mascara from L'Oreal to my lashes. And I'm really going to pump up the mascara. I really want my eyelashes to stand out because I'm not going to be putting any liquid eyeliner to this look because I feel like it really didn't need it. So I'm just going to apply multiple coats of mascara. And then after it's now, we can just bronze up our face. So I'm going to be taking the Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade Coconut. I love this to bronze up my face, and I'm doing this with my Real Techniques foundation brush, but I love it for the contours of my face. So I'm just going to keep adding that and really bronzing on my face. Nothing too sharp of a contour because we're going to clean it up, so if you get a little messy, it's okay. So now we're going to use that Wet n Wild contouring palette in the lightest shade, And we're going to take our Real Techniques Beauty Blender, and we're actually going to clean up the bronzer to make it look like we actually have a contour. So this is like an easy way of contouring. I mean, you don't really have to spend too much trying to create the contour because you could just do it with the powder. So it's very easy and it's just like baking. So I'm going to take this flat eyeshadow brush, and I'm also going to be taking the shadow from the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette again, the same one that we used for our center of our eyes, and we're going to be smudging that on our lower lash line, just, you know, to really smoke out the lower lash line. I always do this because I have fine lines underneath my eyes and it disguises them very well. So I'm just going to be smudging this on both eyes, making sure I can definitely see the reflectiveness of the eyeshadow. I love it when it's just a hint of reflectiveness underneath the eye. And then I'm going to be adding my Wet n Wild Make a Last eyeliner in black. And I love this eyeliner, but I'm still on the hunt for something a little more long wearing, but this does the job. And then I'm going to be taking that light shade again, and I'm going to be popping that in the inner corners of my eye to really open up the eyes. And then I'm going to take my MAC Soft and Gentle Skin Finish as a highlighter. And I'm going to be using this with my little blush brush, no name blush brush that I always use. I'm going to spray some makeup setting spray first and then dip my brush in there and then highlight my face. This highlighter is very subtle, but I love the finish that it gives. It's such a beautiful highlighter, especially when you build it up. It's like not too much, but it's the perfect amount of highlighter. And it was my first highlighter I ever bought, so I'm very true to this highlighter and I love it. So I keep adding until I think it looks right, and I just want the right amount of shine, nothing too crazy, because I definitely want the focus to be on the eyes. And then we're just gonna brush away that powder with a large like powder brush, nothing too fancy, just any powder brush will do. And we're just gonna make sure we brush off all that powder. And then we're gonna be taking, I love this Victoria's Secret blush. I don't even know if they sell it anymore, but it's just a pinky mauvey blush, and I combine the two, and with the stippling brush, I just put that on the apples of my cheeks. I just love the pop of color that it gives. Nothing too crazy. I'm not really into blush, but I do love looking like, you know, that I'm alive and I have some color to my face. And then I'm just going to take the powder brush again and go over it if I think it's too much. And then I'm going to take my Milani lip liner in the shade Natural and just line my lips, nothing crazy. And for our lip color, I'm going to be taking the new Wet n Wild Velvet Matte Lip Color in the shade Toffee Frappe. And I haven't even seen these out, but I did get a package from them through Instagram, and these are amazing. I love them, and they're so long wearing. So here's the final result. I hope you guys like it and try it out. Thank you so much for watching, and please like and subscribe.